Queen Camilla becomes crime fiction victim. In best-selling thriller featuring royal train assassination plot. London, the 27th of November 2025, in a deliciously meta twist that has delighted literary circles and royal watchers alike. Queen Camilla has been transformed into a central character in a gripping new detective novel, one in which she narrowly escapes assassination aboard the royal train. The 78-year-old consort of King Charles III appears as herself. In The Hawk is Dead, the latest installment in Peter James's multi-million-selling Detective Superintendent Roy Grace series, published this week by Macmillan. The author, long one of Camilla's personal favorites, was personally invited by Her Majesty to feature her in the book, after she interviewed him for the Queen's Reading Room podcast in June 2024. Far from being a mere cameo, Queen Camilla drives the entire plot. The story opens dramatically on the 20th of November 2023, a date chosen deliberately by James because it was the real day Camilla traveled by royal train to open a new children's hospice in the north of England. In the novel, the gleaming royal carriages are thundering through the countryside. When disaster strikes, the train suddenly derails inside a remote tunnel. In a screech of twisted metal and shattering glass, as emergency lights flicker and dust fills the air, palace staff rush to evacuate the shaken queen and her entourage. Moments later, a massive explosion rips through the private secretary's carriage, killing Sir Peregrine Greaves, a fictional character based on real courtiers, in a fireball that leaves investigators in no doubt. This was a meticulously planned assassination attempt. Queen Camilla, portrayed as calm but deeply rattled, asks the question that launches the entire investigation. Was I the real target? What follows is classic Peter James territory. A labyrinthine conspiracy involving jealous aristocrats, disgruntled former employees, stolen royal collection masterpieces, and dark secrets hidden for decades behind the gilded walls of Buckingham Palace. A plot enriched by genuine palace access. James has revealed that current and former members of the royal household quietly cooperated with his research, providing authentic details about the ongoing £369 million renovation of Buckingham Palace that forms a key backdrop to several tense scenes set among scaffolding and dust sheets, rare artworks, priceless Fabergé eggs, and centuries-old state papers all feature in the conspiracy, lending the book an uncanny ring of truth. One senior palace source told the author, "Everything you see on the public tours is just the tip of the iceberg. There are entire floors the public will never enter." James weaves these revelations into breathless set pieces, including a midnight chase through the palace's secret tunnels, and a climactic showdown in the newly restored East Wing. A perfect match of royal passion and popular fiction. The collaboration is the natural culmination of a warm literary friendship that began years ago, when Camilla discovered the Roy Grace novels during lockdown and declared them unputdownable. In 2021 she launched the Queen's Reading Room, first as an Instagram book club, then as a full charity and podcast, to champion reading for pleasure. At a time when libraries were closing and literacy rates falling, Peter James became one of her earliest and most enthusiastic supporters. Their June 2024 podcast recording at Clarence House lasted nearly 2 hours, double the scheduled time, and ended with Camilla laughing. "You simply must put me in one of your books one day." James took the request literally. "Her Majesty gave me carte blanche," he said at the launch party, held at Clarence House this week. "She told me, make it as exciting as you like. Just please don't actually kill me off." He kept his promise. Queen Camilla survives to the final page, helping Roy Grace unmask the traitor within the royal household. With her trademark dry wit and steely resolve, critics and early readers are enchanted. Advance reviews have been ecstatic. The Times called it Peter James's best Roy Grace yet. A glorious love letter to both the monarchy and the crime genre. The Daily Mail hailed a masterstroke of royal realism meets roller coaster thriller that you'll devour in one sitting. Even literary heavyweights have weighed in. Cressida Cowell, children's laureate and author of How to Train Your Dragon, told People magazine, "Her Majesty has identified something that is really, really important for children and adults in this country, the joy of reading. She's using her platform brilliantly, and now she's literally the heroine of a thriller. It's inspired, continuing the literacy crusade." Camilla shows no sign of slowing down her campaign. On the 14th of November, King Charles's 77th birthday, she traveled to a primary school in Wales for Poetry Together Day, an initiative she champions that brings schoolchildren and care home residents together to recite poetry by heart. Dressed in an emerald coat and carrying a stack of books, she spent the morning listening to nervous 9-year-olds perform Pam Ayres and Benjamin Zephaniah, then joined pensioners for tea and recitation. "Reading isn't just about passing exams," she told the children. "It's about imagination, empathy, and switching off those screens. For a while, books can take you anywhere, even, apparently, onto the royal train with an exploding carriage." The audience roared with laughter, most already aware of the new novel that had just gone to press. Royal approval all round. King Charles is said to be immensely proud of his wife's literary stardom and has already read an advance proof copy, reportedly chuckling at several scenes. The Queen's children, Tom Parker Bowles and Laura Lopez, attended the Clarence House launch, as did the Duchess of York and several members of the Queen's Reading Room team. Proceeds from the limited signed first edition will go directly to the Queen's Reading Room charity, which has already distributed more than 250,000 books to schools and prisons since its founding. A new chapter for crime fiction, and for Camilla. At 78, Queen Camilla has reinvented herself. From the most controversial royal consort in modern history to one of the monarchy's most popular and effective members. And now, unexpectedly, a crime fiction heroine. As Peter James told guests at the launch, Her Majesty said to me, "I've spent years trying to get people reading. If being blown up on the royal train helps, then so be it." The Hawk is Dead is in bookshops now, and is already topping the Christmas bestseller lists. Something tells us a certain queen will be smiling every time another copy flies off the shelves.